Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are talking Inghams. What else? Because, would you believe it, they're being idiots again. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. Now, the vlog last night was epic. Chris, I know, you don't believe me either. It was epic. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Well, before we do though, just a quick word of warning. What is the most horriblest thing as a parent, mother or father? What is the horriblest thing any expectant mother can ever go through? I'll leave that one with you and we'll get on with it now.
Water bottles for it. I have some wood shavings so it can lay on. I forget to feed it.
Oh guys, do you remember that cat bouquet? Is that the right word? Yeah. Cat bouquet of flowers. Is that the right word? It's like a bouquet of flowers. Yeah. But with cats.
With cats. Mum basically said she's going to buy me it.
No, I basically didn't.
You did.
I said
you showed me it.
I showed you it because it was cute. I showed you it, and Isabel's taken that as Mum's basically buying me it.
Well, Sarah, you reap what you sow. You have brought your kids up to believe that they can get whatever they want, whenever they want it, just by closing their eyes and handing out their hands, putting out their hands. So this whole section at the beginning was all very nice and lovely. We had a massive trolling session involving Sarah, Isabel, Esme and Isla. You know, why not get the kids involved? That's great, isn't it? So basically, Isla is getting a guinea pig, or she wants a guinea pig. Isabel wants a cat, and Esme wants a dog, a new dog. And the best part is that dogs fit in with their lifestyle. That is apparently the new thing. It's yeah, it was hard to get my head around it as well, but according to Esme, guinea pigs and cats don't fit in with their lifestyle, but dogs do. Never mind the one that they can't take care of right now. But my issue here is with Sarah, because if they have been brought up to believe that their lifestyle is perfect for a dog, then that's on the parents. Chris and Sarah, you need to take a long, hard look at yourself, because you can't look after the dog that you've got, right? Obviously, they're not going to get another pet. It's just a whole big trolling session because they know that the comments that they're going to get and the reaction they're going to get is basically what I'm doing now. But I'm being more reserved in it because I do realise what they are trying to do, and hopefully not too many people have taken the bait. But you know, some people, yeah.
Anyway, about to get on the road, about 1 hour away from Spain. Quite possibly the busiest toll stop I think we've ever seen. Yeah, hopefully this is the last toll of this trip.
Some of you Francais.
Oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh, that's like an hour. Guys, I literally cannot cope right now. We've just pulled up near the beach. Chris has just gone to check we're okay to park here. And just across the way, there's a blooming doggy swimming pool and park. Oh my gosh, that is literally the cutest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Why are these not more popular? This is exactly what people need when they bring their doggies on holiday. A little swimming pool.
I've got to ask Sarah, how the hell would you know what people need when they bring their dogs on holiday? When was the last time you brought your dog on holiday? Seriously, apart from that one trip where you went to a caravan park about an hour from your house, you know, whenever, just, you know the drill.
It's open 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. and it's an actual park down there and swimming pool for your dog. That just makes me miss Prinny so much and just wish that she was here with us.
This is not the first time you've been away, Sarah. This is not your first rodeo, you know? Have you never missed Prinny before on any other trip that you've ever been on? What makes this one so special that you'd all of a sudden start missing your dog that you've never had in your life? Because even when you were at home before you went away, you didn't have your dog with you then, I don't think. So all this, oh my god, I miss Prinny. Oh, yeah, it's all fake.
Daddy's coming back. Yeah?
I have something to show you.
Okay, 2 seconds, guys. Obviously, we did want to bring Prinny on this trip with us, and in the end, we kind of couldn't, but we kind of decided against it as well. It was like 50-50. We were umming and ahhing the whole time, like, oh, is she going to be okay? We're going to be doing a lot of driving in the van. It's going to be very, very hot. We're going to be away, like, when it's really hot and summer here in Europe, so will Prinny be okay? Obviously, we wanted to start our trip in Disneyland Paris, which wouldn't have been ideal for Prinny. There is like a pet doggy daycare there, but it would be completely with strangers that she just doesn't know.
Or Sarah, or there was an alternative. You could have left her in the van. You know that huge van of yours is almost like an apartment, right? So you've left your poor little doggy in lesser places. You've left her in the van on her own before, you know, the old banger van that you had before. Yeah, that one. You've also left her in strange apartments on her own before. It's not like this is something that would be a deal breaker, I wouldn't have thought. Then again, you know, Paris, Disney, or dog. Disney or dog. Disney we've done about 1 million times, probably more times than you've actually had your dog with you. But you know, you'd still rather go to Disney than take your dog anyway.
At all, and it would have been for like the whole day. So whilst we could have done it, I don't feel like it would have been fair on Prinny to leave her there.
Why are we all of a sudden caring what is fair on Prinny? Seriously, it's very, very much like about 6 years too late, don't you think? But you've just left her behind, and you've left her with somebody that's not you for months on end again. How is that fair on Prinny? I know you think, oh, she's with Coco and she loves Coco. They get along very well. Yeah, but she is not Granny Jane's dog, right? She does not belong there. She belongs with you, the owners. And you, the owners, would rather spend 3 months at a time away from your dog. So when you talk about fairness, it doesn't quite wash.
And then also if we go to like cities when we're on this trip, or...
You mean we're actually going to get a bit of culture from you, Sarah? Actual culture? I don't believe that for a second. So what you're saying is that you're going to go into some cities and do what? Is it Flying Tiger or is it Primark? Maybe Flying Tiger, possibly Primark. I don't know. It's a toss-up, isn't it?
There's a few other things that we want to do, like water parks or theme parks or anything. It just wouldn't have been fair on her, and it was mainly the heat as well and the travelling in the van, which would have been long days for her. But aside from that, she needed jabs, obviously, and like a pet passport, and the rules are so strict. And maybe we left it a little bit late. What, darling? So she needed her jabs, and then she had to, it's really weird, like she had to have the jab and then you have to wait 3 weeks or something like that, but then you have to leave within 10 days or something, or 7 days. I don't know, I can't remember what Chris was saying, but the rules were really strict about the date that she had to get the jab and then when we had to leave.
Okay, Sarah, I know you're not quite the, the brain of Britain or even the brain of Bradford anymore, but I'll give you my tuppence worth. I know zero about pet passports and jabs and stuff like that. So I know less than you do because you've researched it, right? And you've had information. I don't know anything. However, what I would say is more than likely your pet has to have the jab. It has to wait for it to work. And then you have to leave so that once you've left, the immunization and things like that, it's still taking effect. So there's no point having a jab, for example, and then leaving a year later when it's worn off. I'm just thinking that that's something to do with it, and it's really not that difficult to figure out. I'm sorry, Sarah, but you...
When she got the jab, and it didn't work with when we could get her into the vets to get the jabs. It was really awkward. Anyway.
So basically, I'm hearing here that you didn't take your dog with you because it was basically inconvenient. Okay, firstly, there was the Disney thing. Couldn't take her to Disney. Couldn't leave her, you know, stuff like that. And now the jabs, you couldn't get her in to get a jab, so it was inconvenient. Also, it wouldn't work with when you wanted to go or when you didn't want to go or some crap anyway, right? So it's basically inconvenient for you, so you didn't take her. I'm sure that if you were able to or wanted to, you could have figured out a way round getting the jabs at the time that you needed to. Possibly go to another vet. I don't know how it works, if you can do that, but I'm sure the vets would have been able to sort something out. Just have a word, you know. Put a good word in for your dog, and maybe something nice will happen. But no, you'd rather go to Disney, so yeah.
I don't regret not bringing her. I do miss her like crazy. I don't regret not bringing her though, because it is very, very hot here. And I've already thought loads of times, gosh, I'm glad we didn't bring Prinny because of this or because of that. But there are moments like right now where we've pulled up at a doggy swimming pool. And I'm like, oh, she would have loved that.
Can she even swim? Now, off the top of my head, right, I could have sworn that she doesn't like the water. Maybe somebody with a better memory than me can let me know, because my memory is that Prinny didn't really enjoy going in the water, and so a swimming pool may not have been the best for her. Don't know.
Look at that, guys. Don't even say it's not a cutie pie. Looks like an old man. Oh, they're all about £6.99.
And a dolphin.
Okay.
And I think I'll have to get a bigger cage.
Yeah, I think so.
And then floor.
Cool. Is it funny, Mila?
Yeah, that's hamster. Okay, so Sarah, remember this time, one time, a while ago, you happened to mention you were never going to show your kids schoolwork because you didn't want people ripping the schoolwork. Rightly so, I would say. However, right, and I don't know if this has entered your brain at all, right, but this is actually quite a good like project for homeschooling. I don't know if you had intended it to be that way. My thoughts are that probably not. However, you know, things like this where she can research things and, you know, put a presentation together, it's all good. It is actually very good and something you would do at school. However, what you wouldn't do at school is if your child gets something wrong, and there's no problem with getting something wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And no, I'm not ripping your child for her schoolwork. However, if they get something wrong, you need to correct them that it's wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's how they learn, right? You don't correct them, they won't learn. You know, that is a hamster, that picture there. I'm just saying it, you know, those sort of things really should be pointed out. But you know, if that's the type of schoolwork that she's doing, that's fine. You know, crack on. But Sarah, you do actually need to know when something's incorrect and everything else. So. But I'm not sure you're quite there with your with your own brain in order to know things. I don't know.
Just got back and we can park here, which is amazing. There is a height barrier on the actual car park to the beach. We've arrived in Spain, by the way. I think I said that. Yes, darling. You could, just fan temp. There is a height barrier, unfortunately, onto the beach. We looked at reviews and it said that the height barrier only goes up at high season. It is up right now, which means that we can't get the van in, but there's this little field kind of thing here where there's other cars parked. So Chris just went to double check that we are okay to park here, because we don't want to park here if we're not allowed to, obviously. And the lady was shocked the barrier was down. She was like, oh, is the barrier down? That's not usually down. So anyway, we're allowed to park here. It's a very short walk to the beach, and we're all very excited to get into the sea, I think, and go for a swim. It's about 32 degrees here in Spain today. It's lovely, isn't it, Mila?
Yeah.
Is it good, Jace?
Yeah.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
So we've parked the van in the campsite just here. You can park, and we're probably going to stay there overnight, just in the car park, because you can pay to stay in the car park with electricity as well as on a pitch. They have no pitches, but they have got the car park today. We were going to be staying right here, which is a park for night spot. Yes, Dan, I'm coming, come on. Which is a spot on Park for Night, which has always a 5-star ratings, but it does say that in the height of summer that they do sometimes put a height barrier up, and unfortunately today the height barrier is on, so it's limited to 2.10 meters today, so we can't get in here. But this would have been perfect because this is literally right on the beach.
Hand in hand, building castles out of sand.
What I don't get is the absolute desperation to go to the beach and the water yet again. I mean, it was only yesterday that they left all the water and they spent the entire day in the water. So why again? I mean, do something different for a change. Or Chris wouldn't have the opportunity to pimp his girls' house. So maybe that is the overriding factor. Is that what's in your brain? Is it, Chris? Or is it just... Oh, fucking hell. It's just tedious. Sorry.
Basically, where we parked up, it's part of a campsite or a parking field for the campsite. We couldn't get on the campsite, there's no pitches available, so Chris just on the off chance asked, can you stay in the field, can you park there overnight? And the lovely lady that owns the campsite said that they don't usually allow overnight parking in there, but if we pay, was it like £2.50 per adult, £2 per child, then we can not only stay there overnight, we can also have wristbands that will enable us to use the pool here and all of the facilities. So basically like the showers, the toilet block, changing rooms, the supermarket, I think there's even an entertainment going on down there. The entertainment.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they're just setting up for tonight, I think. So that was an absolute bargain. And also the field, does it have a hookup, did you say?
Yeah.
And the field, also they did used to obviously allow people to stay there because there's a hookup, so we can even use electricity for that price as well. So it ended up being an absolute bargain, kind of one of those really gutted there's no pictures, but this is actually better moments. The beach was really nice. Jace and Mila had an absolute blast playing in the sand. Esme and Isla had an absolute blast in the sea. Isabel read a book, and me and Chris had just a great time watching everyone play and have fun, basically. We've now come up to the pool for an hour. It closes at 10 PM, which...
So let me get this straight. You spent the afternoon at the beach, in the sea, and swimming and everything else, and then you go and you spend an hour at the pool. So more water. It's always water. Why? Why? I feel like I'm losing the will to live here. Why?
It's super late. It's about 6 PM now. And we thought, seeing as though we've paid for the wristbands and we've paid to stay overnight, we might as well make some use out of the pool. Seems like it's a great time to come as well because there's no one here. Got back from the pool and honestly, it's the most beautiful, perfect evening. Oh, Isabel, you've made my life. 2 seconds, guys.
How nice is the evening turning out? It's beautiful now.
Oh my gosh, I've been so wanting that for ages.
Can we get our cuddle bug out?
Of course, just ask Daddy's pass you it. It's just there. So it was a beautiful day today, but it was very windy, which for us, it was actually really quite nice because it's a nice cool breeze. But for vlogging, not so much, because when it's really windy like that, there's no point vlogging. You can't hear a word we're saying. So when we were down on the beach, which is what I was meaning to say earlier when I was up at the pool, was that we had a great time. Couldn't vlog much though, talking wise, because it was very windy. And then it was quite windy still up at the pool really, wasn't it? Yeah. A little bit. But now we've got back to the van. Oh, look at this evening.
I know, right?
Look at this that's going on here. Look at this. We've got the van, we've got Chris in the boot, in the garage, getting out the outdoor kitchen. Esme and I are still at the pool, which is just, woo, let me turn the camera around, just over this hedge thing over there. And we're basically in a massive field. There's only one. There's loads of cars that have, because like I said before, it's like a car park. Loads of cars on there, and then just one random caravan over there. We're restocking the fridge with cans of juice, drink, soda, fizzy, that we brought away with us. It has lasted quite well. How long have we been on the trip? 2 weeks. That we brought away with us, so we're just restocking the fridge, and I'm going to cook dinner outside tonight. We've realised that we're really close to a huge, it looks massive, we've never been before so we don't know, but it looks like a massive mega water park. So we've just decided, are we definitely going to go?
Do you think they've got water on the brain or something? We've just realised we're near this massive super duper water park because we haven't been to see water in such a long time. Oh my god, we must go to see the water.
100%, yeah, tomorrow, definitely.
Tomorrow we're going to hit the massivest water,
It looks huge as well.
hugest water park. It looks really good, and I can't wait. Oh look, what? Why do they have to play in the mud?
Hey guys,
Look at them. Ago we sat outside for as long as we possibly could before the mosquitoes came in full force.
I love you, Mama.
I love you more. So before we ended the vlog, I just wanted to really quickly tell you guys about the route and everything we're planning, not everything, but where we're planning on heading this trip. So last year we planned on doing a little road trip to Greece, and we had such an incredible trip. We had a fantastic time, but we ended up stopping at so many countries on our way down to Greece that by the time we got to Greece, we only had like, did we have like a week or 2 weeks there or something? We had like 10 days there or something, didn't we? And then it was time to turn back around and head back home. So we decided early on that this summer we would do a trip to Greece again and go and explore more of Greece. But instead of doing all the countries that we did last year, we'd go straight to Italy, get the ferry from Italy straight to Inghams, which is where we stayed and entered Greece last time, and then just spend the time exploring Greece. However, was it Isabel? I think it was Isabel that said she really wanted to do this trip.
Yeah.
Isabel said,
Well, no, it stems from a massive amount of nostalgia over our 2020 summer.
Yeah, so the girls constantly talk about our 2020 road trip. Was that that's the one with the car blew up, right?
Yep.
And they really wanted to recreate that road
Well,
trip.
they've asked for that for like 2 years.
So remember what I said to you at the beginning of this video about the worst thing, the very worst thing that can happen to an expectant mother or father? What would it be? That would be to have a miscarriage. Sadly, obviously, that is a fact. However, these not only don't think it's the worst thing that could ever happen, they actually get nostalgic about it. Nostalgic. I'm actually lost for words on this one. I mean, you can I mean, no matter how good the rest of the trip was and how many different things that they did on that particular trip, the overriding memory would always be the miscarriage. Always. I would have thought, right? I fortunately never been in that position, but my feeling amongst the congregation here would be that it wouldn't be something you'd forget, and it certainly would not be something you would get nostalgic about, would it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but no, just no. I know they're only children, but you would still remember that, especially the older ones. They would remember that their mother went through the biggest pain, the biggest hell, and they also lost their sibling. Whether or not they should have been told this or any of this in the first place is up for debate, but since they did know, it's not something you would get nostalgic about. I'm just thinking that. Literally lost for words on this one.
Yeah, they have constantly asked. And when we said we were going to Greece this summer, obviously they were like, oh yay, can we go back to that same campsite that we stayed at, etc, etc. But we found that as we were talking about the trip, there'd often be times where the girls, mainly Isabel probably, would say things like, oh, but do you remember that time when we were in Portugal, or when we were in Minglanilla and in Benidorm, and I just loved that trip so much, when can we do that again? And we kind of felt like Isabel's 18 this year, and whilst I don't think there'll ever be a time where our children don't want to come on holiday with us, obviously they will, but I felt like we should do a trip that they really wanted to do this summer. It's our first trip in this big van, and we wanted to make it a memorable one. So we completely changed.
So you crack on and recreate the road trip from hell, and didn't Chris also have to fly home on that trip? Are they nostalgic about that too? I bet Chris isn't.
Direction on where we were going.
Hence why we're in Spain.
Hence why we're in Spain right now and not Greece or Italy.
There is so much of Spain that we have not seen.
I know, Spain's massive.
So much of Spain that we want to see. So we've got like a lot of things we want to see in Spain. Potentially maybe we'll end up in Portugal as well.
Well, yeah, Portugal's the one the girls really want to go to. It's so funny because when you speak about something like that they remember the slightest details. This is from like 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago.
If you don't know what this is about, you guys need to check out our summer 2020 because it was a bit insane. Our summer trip in 2020 ended up being like half a year in Europe.
It was so long. We spent like 2 months in Portugal.
So many disasters.
We're only supposed to be there a week. Yeah. But they remember the most random things, like all they speak about is going to the spa and buying these potato things, or when we're in Minglanilla when we were having like the worst time ever because our car had blown up. Yeah, but do you remember how funny it was going to that little cafe when we got like an omelette in that baguette and we was asking the man for patatas fritas and he brought us crisps instead of chips, and it's just so lovely. So we're like, no, we have to recreate that trip. Yeah. But add to, yes. It's not going to be the same trip.
It's not going to be the same trip, but we're going to be doing new things, obviously, in Spain, new things in Portugal, but it's going to be just as good, basically, and have a lot of vibes from 2020.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's the plan for this summer. We're doing a lot of Spain and we're doing Portugal, or heading back to Portugal again. But yeah, it'll be a different trip, but new memories. It'll be really, really fun.
It'll be insane, is what it'll be. It's going to be a really, really good summer. But also we have to be very mindful this summer like that baby baby's on the way.
Exactly, yeah. So we aren't like, last time we came we were like on unlimited time. This time we aren't on quite unlimited time.
Yeah, that would worry me, to be honest with you. I mean, you could go into labour like well, not now, but you know, it's what, 15 weeks or something until you're ready to go, and all you're doing is going further into the corner where Portugal, right down to the bottom. You might end up having to be airlifted back to the UK. So fingers crossed you can get the baby clickbait that you've been waiting for. Anyway, yeah, the vlog was shit, but they did announce that they were nostalgic for the miscarriage that they had, which I felt was a little bit insane, to be honest with you. But there you go. And I can't wait for tomorrow's water park of dreams. You know, I haven't seen water in their vlogs for such a long time, and it's, you know, something to look forward to, at least end of the week and everything. So everybody, please have a lovely day, take care of yourselves, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and comment everything you want to comment down below. As always, until next time, take care of yourselves and bye bye.